Hey, what's up guys? Kool-Aid here. Welcome to another weekly updates and news video. We have a very small patch today, but we do have some news about the World Domination series that I will talk about a little bit after the patch notes. So let's jump right into it. Let's get over these little bit of patch notes quick. So the first one, it says we are not performing our cert reimbursement for lost membership bonuses with this update, and we'll definitely be doing it for next week's update. Unfortunately, we need to postpone this in order to work around our issue with character loading that occurs on patch days. So basically the same thing they talked about last week. It looks like we got to wait another week for our cert reimbursement. The patch day character load issue should be resolved before next week's update, but shouldn't happen in this week's update due to the above workaround. We're still working on a fix for a server crash that happens occasionally, and I think the game's been crashing occasionally since the start of the game. So if they could ever get that fixed, you know, that'd be a great thing. I know some people are actually having a lot more problems with crashes than other people. I've heard of some people almost having, you know, the game being unplayable right now. That's not really the case for me. I don't have very many crashes, so I'm fortunate for that. But yeah, it looks like they are working on that. We also have a few new depot items, some new Sunder cosmetics, some new Galaxy cosmetics, and some new Player Studio items. But apparently they're in the game. I read this on Reddit. They're in there, but they are locked for a week, and nobody can really understand why. So I guess you're gonna have to wait a week for the new Player Studio items as well. There has been a couple performance passes, the optimization pass for the Lightning and its attachments, and the Liberator and its attachments have gone in. So maybe a little bit better performance if you are using one of those, or just overall if they're in the area. They've made some changes to the Vivox voice chat upgrade, or not really changes, but some improvements on audio quality, reduced CPU usage on the client side, and reduced audio latency. So that's really all for the patch notes. We do have some bug fixes that I will read over real quickly. There is not a whole lot of them. Healing and repairing service ribbons should now function again. Fixed a client crash that would occur when closing a Twitch stream. Fixed an issue that could cause blank member and daily sales. Fixed an issue where the Prowler appears to be firing 3 rounds at range but is only firing 1. Fixed M20 Basilisk F not animating when firing. Fixed an issue with faction colors not showing up on vehicles at long range, and fixed for overlapping turrets at Frere. So obviously a really small patch. I'm hoping that means they're gearing up for the Infiltrator update, which still hasn't hit test. I would assume that it would, you know, in short order, and then probably go live a week or so after it's on test. Give some players some, you know, a chance to test out the new weapons, see if there's any major flaws in them. But speaking of test server, we do have some unofficial test server notes courtesy of Shaq L from Reddit. If you've ever gone to Planetside 2 Reddit, you probably know who Shaq L is. And I'm not going to discuss all this stuff because it is unofficial. It's not even on the test yet. But you guys can take a look at this for yourselves. It looks like there's going to be a couple of crossbows in the game, and I think one of them is going to be more of a gimmicky Valentine's Day event type thing with some you know, Valentine's pink camo and stuff like that. Go ahead, check that out. Like I said, I'm not going to discuss it too much because it is unofficial test patch notes. So for the news today, I did say I wanted to start paying more attention to the World Domination series, something that I haven't really paid any attention to at all, and I kind of want to start keeping you guys updated on this a little bit more, because it does look like they're taking player feedback and, you know, putting that into the rules and the scoring and the rewards and stuff like that. So they did do a complete overhaul of this, and the World Domination series preseason 2 actually starts on Friday. So I'm just going to read over all this. This is going to get quite lengthy. I do have a small little channel update afterwards, but let's get started on this. It says, for the scoring and rule adjustments, disable difficulty and top dog multipliers. This means scores will be far more consistent and predictable throughout the day, and contributions have equal value regardless of time of day or continent population. The time between hold points being awarded to the Empire has been reduced to 30 minutes from 60. Point value capture or point values for capture, defense, and hold now increase the longer a region is held, and resets when the region is captured. The value increases occur every 30 minutes the facility is held. Max value is attained after the facility has been held for 6 hours. After 6 hours, hold scores will still be awarded every 30 minutes, but the values will not increase any further. There's now a time held field in the region info panel which records how long your empire has held a particular facility. Point values still differ based on outpost type. It is configured such that overall value of a large outpost is twice that of a small outpost, and a major facility is twice that of a large outpost. Major facilities are worth significantly more points to capture, hold, and actively defend. Defending a region now awards World Domination Series points. Defend value is shown instead of the capture value on the region info panel if your empire owns the region. Defend value is lower than capture value due to frequency of captures compared to defenses. Overall, these values are calibrated to be roughly equal in total contribution to empire score, which captures being slightly higher. Hold value remains as an empire-only scoring mechanism and comprises roughly 2/3 of an empire's total score. So sorry for my terrible reading, but yeah, a lot of information there. I think these are really good changes, and like I said, this is going to make me want to pay more attention to World Domination Series and actually give a hoot about what's going on. And it does have the exact values listed here, the outpost scoring values. You guys can take a look at that if you're interested. I pretty much went over that a little bit already, but just by reading that. The next thing they have is warp gate balance. Each position is set such that the sum of all point earnings across all continents for the empire with that position through normal World Domination Series play is roughly equal to the other positions. The positions will rotate through each permutation automatically at the start of each week. Weeks start at Friday at 12 a.m. This rotation does not require downtime, and players will receive several warnings prior to a rotation. Players in the warp gate during the rotation will be taken to the respawn screen. Only the warp gates are being rotated. Territories owned at the time of the rotation will be unaffected. And we actually we're doing a alert the other day, the first time they rotated the warp gates weekly, and it wasn't at 12 a.m. I can tell you that. It was sometime in the morning or early afternoon, and we were doing an alert, and the warp gates flipped, and we were all of a sudden cut completely off. It was kind of funny. It didn't end up affecting the alert too much, but it was pretty funny. And then we do have the server-specific rewards. Weekly and season reward distribution will now be dependent on the individual server's World Domination scores. Example, if TR had the highest score on Connery, but VS had the highest score worldwide, TR on Connery would still receive the weekly award. Worldwide scores will be tracked and displayed on the website, but will no longer have rewards tied to them. Each player of the winning empire for the week will receive a 3-day experience boost. Each player of the winning empire for the season will receive an exclusive detail and the temporary title of Dominator, which lasts until a new season winner is crowned. Both the weekly and season scores and rewards will be displayed on the tab screen. Players now earn contribution points by participating in the defense or capture of a base. The amount of contribution points a player receives is equal to the amount of World Domination Series points their empire receives. The total amount of contribution points a player earns during a week will qualify the player for weekly personal rewards. There are 3 tiers of weekly personal rewards. Tier 1 is awarded at 200 points. Tier 2 starts at 800 points, and Tier 3 is awarded at 2,000 points. Each contribution tier rewards the player with a supply cache or cache, however you want to say it, which contains one of many items. An example would be camos, boosts, or weapons. Higher tier supply caches will both contain more valuable items and have a higher chance of having a more valuable item in them. Each personal reward will be distributed immediately after meeting the qualification. Players can earn multiple weekly personal rewards provided they meet the qualifications of each one. Player contribution progress will be displayed on the tab screen as well. So that's a lot of information to soak in about the World Domination Series. I think there's a lot of good changes here. Like I said, it's going to make me actually pay a little bit more attention to it, and I'll try to keep you guys updated a little bit for on each weekly update and news video, just to let you guys know what is going on with this. And I hope a lot more people start paying attention to this, because honestly, I didn't, like I said, and nobody I really talked to gives a crap about this, but it looks like they are putting forth a lot of effort to actually make people start caring. So I like the changes, like I said, and again, I'll keep you guys updated throughout the week. So the last thing I want to talk about real quickly is in regards to the upcoming cert and loadout videos that I plan on doing. And I apologize beforehand that I changed my mind on how I want to do this stuff a lot, but I think I have a way that will come off much better, and it's kind of to make one super video for each class. And what I mean by that is, instead of doing a really basic cert guide, which is really only going to help the newest of players, I plan on doing a multiple loadout video for each class. So for instance, for the heavy assault, and that's the one that I'm working on first, I will do 2 to 3 basic loadouts and then 1 to 2 specialized loadouts all in one video. And then for each loadout, I will give examples or recommendations for each weapon to use for each faction as well. And because of that, that is going to take me a little bit longer to do, because you can see what the weapons are like on paper, and I have a good idea of what all the weapons are in the game, but I really want to get an in-game feel on just how they work. So I plan on testing every weapon for every class, and that is going to take me a little bit of time, but I hope to put one of these out once a week. And the heavy assault one that I'm working on now will maybe be up Friday, but probably early next week. And I think overall this is just going to make for a much better video. So anyways, guys, that's all I have today. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to y'all later.
Hostile heavy tank. Enemy heavy tank identified. Enemy heavy tank identified. Enemy heavy tank identified. Enemy heavy tank identified.